Like to begin, I ask you that we all rise and the Como High School Navy JROTC will present the colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Carry. Coach. Ready. Cut. Right. Face. Forward. March. Left.
I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting and recognize our superintendent. She may have some opening remarks. Superintendent.
Thank you, President Angel. So I've asked IT Young and the Como High representatives from their ROTC program to come back to the front. I want to congratulate IT Young and all of your cadets on being awarded the status of Distinguished Unit for the 22-23 school year. The unit ranks 20th out of 62 units in the top 30% of Area 8, and 26 cadets will be attending the Leadership Academy and Basic Leadership Training this summer. Congratulations to all the cadets, Major Blackman and IT Young, for earning this designation. I've seen, you've shared with me before the videos of the Leadership Academy. It's tough. It's tough. So very rewarding, very beneficial to students. But I certainly respect and admire the cadets that will go through that. But congratulations to you, Major Blackman, and all of your cadets for earning this distinction. Thank you. Also, yes. You got it. Thank you. Also this week we are celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week across the district. While we are grateful each and every day for our educators for the work that they put in supporting and servicing our students, we ask that our community takes a moment this week to thank a teacher. For our educators, it is certainly a thank you that means so much from our community. So thank you to our teachers for being of service to our students. Speaking of success, graduation is right around the corner, as you all know. Tomorrow is the last day for seniors. Senioritis has certainly set in. It's been there for a good part of the spring, but this week senioritis was at the highest level possible. But congratulations. Tomorrow we begin with Early College Academy being held at 1 o'clock tomorrow at Cajun Dome. On our homepage, you can find the entire list of graduation ceremonies. I am also pleased to report that through our partnership with Acadiana Center for the Arts, this year, approximately 22,000 of our LPSS students, pre-K through 8th, were able to have an art experience. From operas to art gallery visits to musicals and ballets, students were immersed in rich art experiences that allow them to better connect with learning materials in real life experiences. I would like to close my comments by announcing that collectively, LPSS schools raised $111,000 for SOLA Giving Day. This would not be possible without the support of our community and our friends at the Pew Family Foundations, Love Our Schools, the Community Foundation of Acadiana, and many wonderful donors and supporters that work to make this happen and make this a success. Schools are in a better position now. because of this fundraising effort. So thank you to our community partners and everyone else that supported our schools through Solar Giving Day. And Mr. President, this concludes my comments.
Thank you, Ms. Trosclair. Moving on to the next part of our agenda, litigation. 2.1 board discussion or action concerning prospective litigation. Would you like to combine 2.1 and 2.2, perhaps?
Mr. President, I move that the board go into executive session to discuss formal written demand which has been made by Michael Senegal relative to his workers' compensation claim, as well as discuss the matter of Brenda Joseph et al. Versus Lafayette Parish School Board et al. Docket number C-20205464D, 15th Judicial District Court, Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana.
A second.
Second by Ms. Morrison. Any comments from members of the public? Members of the board? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll now go to executive session. We'll be right back.
Mr. President, I move that we return to regular session.
Second.
Second, Ms. Morrison. That we move, come back into regular session. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Mr. President, I move that the board accepts the advice of counsel regarding the formal written demand which has been made by Michael Senegal relative to his workers' compensation claim.
Second.
And we have a second by Ms. Morrison. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carried.
Mr. President,
Yes,
I
sir.
move that the board accept the advice of counsel in the pending litigation in the matter of Brenda Joseph et al. Versus the Lafayette Parish School Board et al. Docket number C-20205464D, 15th Judicial District Court, Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Yeah, well, they weren't privy to the conversation. Under information items, Mr. Broussard, is your representative here?
Yes, he is.
I'd like to recognize Mr. Broussard at this time concerning 3.1, an information item.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, board. The board has the task to educate our children through bricks and mortar and through the books, the board as well as administrator and the teachers as well. But there's nothing greater to educate someone than to see it, feel it, and hear it. And I'm going to introduce Bishop Carlos Harvin with Chief of Minority Affairs of Lafayette Consolidated Government, who is going to speak to us about a trip that he's working on with kids to attend Washington, D.C. And Bishop also need to mention that the Workforce Academy is offering jobs as well. You know, is offering jobs to youngsters 16 to 21 that we can tap into, that they can tap into to get that $3,200 they're going to earn throughout the summer to help pay for that trip on their own instead of getting money from mom and dad or whatever else. So could you enlighten us on some of the things that you and Bishop, you know, we spoke about, you know.
Sunday morning. There we go. Thank you. It's not Sunday morning, I realize, so I'll take off and land the plane. Thank you, Mr. Broussard, for arranging for us to get on the agenda. Good evening, President Angel and LPSS board members, Superintendent Trosclair, and all of the administration. I bring you greetings from Mayor President Josh Guillory and from the LCG family. We are excited about a trip that we are working on. I was at the Martin Luther King celebration this year in January at the MLK Center, and the guest speaker, she mentioned that this year will be the 60th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. And the idea just hit me, 60th anniversary. Let's take 60 students from our schools, high schools, to Washington, D.C. to be a part of this history. As you talked about, Mr. Broussard, there's nothing like being there, and travel to D.C. Is just a way of first-hand learning experience. And so I reached out to Erica Williams with New Vision Leadership Foundation, Erica Fox with Maison Freetown, and the three of us are teaming up together to plan this trip to our nation's capital. It's August 24th through the 29th, and I had a chance to speak briefly with the superintendent about 4 days of school that the students would miss, and there's a procedure to expedite that, and we're just excited because, as you mentioned, the trip is $800. We're asking the students to pay $400, and then we're working with scholarship sponsors. We've been talking to several partners who are eager and willing to partner and sponsor the other half. And there'll be 20 adult chaperones going on this trip. So it's altogether 80 people. We're still finalizing the final airport, but it'll be here in Louisiana, round trip to DC and back. And we just feel it'll be an eye-opener for our students. We're very excited about it. The students are asked 3 questions. Number 1, on their application, what is your favorite line from Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech? Number two, what makes that line so important to you? And the third question we're asking them is, do you have a dream for yourself, for your neighborhood, your city, or our world? And what is that? So based on that, we're asking a selection committee to select those top 60s. Applications are already coming in. We'll be seeking adult chaperones as well, and continue to reach out to sponsors. I have a flyer that I can hand out to everybody here, and I'll be emailing a copy to the board, President Angel. So yes. Any questions?
Bishop, in one of our meetings, we mentioned, I know this may be the first one, but to make this a yearly event and perhaps go from 60 to 120 or probably 180. We make it something out of a competition and take more kids there, because you know, you really learn when you see it. And it's, you know, I've been there, touched it and seen it, and, you know, walked around D.C., and more of our youth would benefit from a trip such as that, historical trip, to see the Black History Museum and just to see the White House. And they don't have to see anyone, but to see the White House. It's something to behold. But I'm hoping that this would be a yearly thing, and it would get larger and larger. And we hopefully, the Workforce Academy that started, that this can contribute more than I don't know how many kids they've got in the program, but that program is going to work with X amount of kids for 10 weeks and a total of $3,200, I believe. That's a good summer job.
Yep.
So
Not
we're
bad.
trying to bring that. If those of us who remember the JTPA program was similar to that, did away with it, now we've got this. So we're working in the community to make it better. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes.
If somebody wanted to sponsor, who should they reach out to?
They can reach out to LCG. They can reach out to me at and the email address is on the bottom of this flyer. You can send that to me.
Great, thank you.
Yes, thank you. And what we're hoping for is, we're calling the group the Dream Team. And our goal, we're opening it up to public, Catholic, private, charter schools to attend. And we're hoping to see a dream team set up in each of the high schools when these students come back, so that they realize the influence that they have and the ability that they can to lead their peers. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Another information item concerns finance, a 202 half-cent sales tax interest reserve payment to classroom teachers. Mr. Dugab, who's going to help us on this one?
Yes, this is the interest on the account that accumulates funds for the 2002 tax. Annually pay the interest out on a 13th check, and this is the amount that was accrued as of June of 22 and audited.
All right. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I noticed there's a pretty big significance between, and it's not that much money, maybe $70 in the past, and now it's around 20 something. Can you just tell us why the discrepancy, so that everybody can hear?
Interest rates. As you know, interest rates has significantly gone up, so this will be going up in the future. This is based as of June of 22. So we pay the money once it's audited. So it's cut off at June 22, it's audited, and then we pay it this year in May. So next year it should be substantially higher.
Yeah, thank you.
As you can see, the history is there from 2006 on, and it's significantly changed, but it's all dependent on interest rates.
No other questions? The third information item is update on Old Prairie Elementary location at 2910 Ambassador Caffrey.
Yes,
Strasler?
Yes, thank you, President Angel. At a previous meeting, the board directed staff to report back plans for the current Prairie site once we move to the new location. For the upcoming school year, we will house the following departments, programs, and staff: our technology support personnel, our SOAR K-5 program, pre-K itinerant teachers, talented teachers, and homebound teachers. So that's in the short term. Of course, we will have that Prairie site to consider what we do long term in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move to the consent agenda. If you want to pull an item, just let me know. 4.1, discussion or action concerning the rezoning of a portion of Marshall B.O. Elementary attendance zone to Catherine Drexel Elementary and Ernest Gallet Elementary. 4.2, administration, discussion or action concerning the rezoning of a portion of Charles Burke Elementary attendance zone to Prairie Elementary zone. 4.3, discussion or action concerning an athletic training services management agreement. 4.4, discussion or action concerning revisions to the Magnet Academy procedures. 4.5, discussion or action concerning Resolution 5-23-2068, Teacher Appreciation Week.
Pull that, please.
Okay, pull 4.5. 4.6, Associate Superintendent Child Nutrition Services, discussion or action concerning Resolution 5-23-2066, Food Service Workers Week and School Lunch Hero Day.
Pull that, please.
Pulled. 4.7, discussion or action concerning ratifying adoption of Reapportionment Plan A, Resolution 9-22-2040. 4.8, discussion or action concerning the committed school sites renovations replacement, Northside High, J.W. Falk, S.J. Montgomery, Judy's Middle School Library and Academic Wing Addition, Acadiana High School Academic Wing Addition, Southside High Home Visit to Stadium, Westside Elementary School, Karen Crow High School Fieldhouse, David Thibodeau STEM Magnet Academy Gymnasium, Karen Crow High School Press Box and Karen Crow High School Academy of Information Technology Center, additional line item to the self-funded construction fund. 4.9, discussion or action concerning the new high school program administrator, elementary school program administrator, assistant program administrator, and assistant program administrator. Federal job descriptions in addition to the positions. 4.10, discussion and or action concerning an early release of funds for school construction projects in capital improvements and self-funded construction fund. 4.11, discussion and or action concerning the declaration of surplus property at Como High School. 4.12, discussion or action concerning budget revision to the self-funded construction fund. 4.13, discussion and or action concerning budget revision to capital improvement fund. 4.14, discussion or action concerning approval of act of dedication for servitude. 4.15, discussion or action concerning RFP number 58-23 for medical billing services. 4.16, discussion or action concerning the budget to actual for April 2023. 4.17, discussion and or action concerning revisions to policy CCA Lafayette Parish School System Top Tier Organization Chart. 4.18, discussion or action concerning the minutes of March 29th, April 5th, and April 24th meetings. 4.19, approval of all consent items.
Mr. President, I move that we approve all items not pulled.
Second.
Motion and a second that we approve all items not pulled. Any questions or or comments from any members of the audience concerning articles not pulled? Any comments from members of the board? Yes, ma'am, Ms. LeBou.
With regard to 4.15, I know I've gotten a few calls about a letter that the students have received asking them to fill out. I think it's a form regarding, I don't know, it was a form, I guess it had something to do with disclosing for Medicaid or something. Anyway, I think it did it, I just wanted maybe the superintendent to enlighten the parents on who was issued the form and why we issued the form and why we need them to fill it out. Who
Ms.
would-
Gardner?
Yes, Ms. LeBou. The form was issued to every student in Lafayette Parish, and we just ask as a one-time consent for Medicaid services. Any child that is eligible for a hearing, if we do a hearing and vision, if they get a Band-Aid from the nurse, that is all things that can be refunded through Medicare. Medicaid, they don't have to fill it out, but it is a request. It will be in our student handbook, but we were informed later in the year that it changed from the past. So they did go out to the schools.
So also, Ms. LeBou, it's important that parents know that in no way does this impact any other benefits that they're receiving.
Great, thank you.
Dr. Schuster?
Mr. Bordelon, if you could just either raise up a finger, you don't have to come up to the microphone, for 4.11 declaration of surplus property, what size is the classroom? Is it the Butler building, is it 1, 2 classrooms? Okay, thank you, that's what I want to know.
Yes, sir.
I just have a question for Mr. Broussard, and I may have lost my mind. Probably did. 4.8, adding the library at Lafayette Middle. We did that. We didn't already do that?
No, it wasn't on the agenda.
We just talked about it?
We talked about
Okay,
it, and
okay.
you're supposed to put it on
Okay,
this, yeah.
all right.
It's renovating,
Right.
yes,
Okay.
we just talked about it.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
And this is for Ms. Trosclair on item 4.9. I know that it says that we're paying for this by reducing a high school principal and a high school assistant principal. Can you explain to me how that's going to work? Because as far as I know, we only have one principal at each school, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
But La Rosen Prep we've changed that from a school to a program. So we have to change from a principal to a program administrator. Same duties, same pay, same job description, but just the title has to change for that reason.
Same location and everything?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
If there are no other questions, Madam Secretary, we'll call for the vote.
Could you verify the second on the motion, please?
Harry?
Mr. Centini, I want to clarify. We will be adding an elementary school program administrator because we're moving the kids K-5 off of the Rosen campus. We feel it's important that we keep the babies away from the older children so that we can do more strategically to meet their needs on another. The program will move to Prairie Old Site. Thank you.
Two resolutions, 4.5, 4.6.
Nine for, none against.
Motion carries. We'll move on to item 4.5, and the chair recognizes Dr. Aguilar.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve resolution 05-023-2068, Teacher Appreciation Week, as attached in the public contents section of this agenda.
I'll second.
Second by Mary. Do we have any discussion?
Yep, I do.
Okay, go ahead, Doc.
Yes, sir. Resolution 05-023-2068. Whereas education and knowledge are the foundation of the current and future strength of the United States. Whereas teachers and other education staff have earned and deserve the respect of their students and communities for the selfless dedication of the teachers and staff to community service and the futures of the children of the United States.
whereas teachers personify America's belief that universal public education is a key to meeting the challenges of our changing world, and teachers strive to make every classroom an exciting, productive place to learn and grow. And whereas teachers reach out to foster the well-being of each student, regardless of ability, social or economic background, race, ethnic origin, or religion. And whereas the purposes of National Teacher Appreciation Week, celebrated from May 8th, 2023 through May 12, 2023, are, number one, to raise public awareness of the unquantifiable contributions of teachers, and two, to promote greater respect and understanding for the teaching profession. And whereas students, schools, communities, and a number of organizations representing educators are recognizing the importance of teachers during Teacher Appreciation Week, now therefore be it resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board thanks the teachers of the Lafayette Parish School System and promotes the profession of teaching and the contributions of educators by encouraging students, parents, school administrators, and public officials to recognize National Teacher Appreciation Week.
Okay. We have a motion. We have a second. Any other discussion concerning this item? Public comment, I'm sorry. Any public comment concerning this resolution? If not, Madam Secretary, we'll call for the comment, for the vote. Any board member comment beside Dr. Aguilar's? Okay, Madam Secretary, we'll call for the vote.
Nine for, none against.
Motion carries. Move on to the final item, and that's 4.6. Associate Superintendent Child Nutrition Services. Do we have any? I'll entertain a motion first.
Mr. President, I make a motion that the board approves resolution 05-023-2066 in recognition of school food service workers as attached in the public content section of this agenda item.
Here we have a motion. Can I get a second? Yes, sir. Second. Okay. Discussion?
Would you like me to read the resolution?
If you like, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Resolution 05-23-2066 Food Service Workers Week and School Luncheon Hero Day. Whereas all nutrition programs are dedicated to the health and well-being of our nation's children, and whereas nutritious meals at school are an essential part of the school day, and whereas the staff of the LPSS Child Nutrition Services is committed to providing healthy, nutritious meals to the district's children, and whereas from planning and delivery to preparing and serving, the women and men who provide school meals help to nurture our children through their daily interaction and support. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board does hereby acknowledge the week of May 1st through the 5th, 2023 as Food Service Workers Week, and Friday, May 5th as National School Lunch Hero Day. Administrator, teachers, support staff, parents, students, and other community members are encouraged to recognize these valuable employees and commend their good work on behalf of our children.
Any comments from members of the public concerning this resolution? Motion? Members of the board? If not, Madam Secretary, we'll call for the vote.
Nine for, none against.
Motion carries. That's the last item on the agenda. This meeting is adjourned. I want to thank and say how much I appreciate the cooperation from you, the members of the audience, as well as my fellow board members. I think it went well. Thank you very much.